5 Steps to Apply Real Life from the book Thinking, Fast and Slow by Kahneman. Imagine you're at a bustling market, surrounded by the vibrant sights and sounds of vendors selling their goods. As you navigate through the crowd, you rely on your instincts to avoid bumping into people and quickly decide which stalls to visit. This is your System 1 at work, fast, intuitive, and automatic. It's the part of your brain that helps you react swiftly without much thought. Now, picture yourself at a quiet cafe, carefully reading through a complex menu to decide what to order. You weigh the options, consider your dietary preferences, and maybe even calculate the cost. This is your System 2, slow, deliberate, and logical. It's the part of your brain that takes its time to analyze and make reasoned decisions. Kahneman's book, Thinking, Fast and Slow, delves into these two systems and how they shape our thinking and decision-making processes. Here's how you can apply the lessons from the book in your daily life. Recognize when you're using System 1. System 1 is incredibly useful for quick decisions and reactions. However, it can also lead to errors due to biases and heuristics. For example, you might make snap judgments about people based on first impressions or choose a product because it's familiar, not necessarily because it's the best option. By being aware of when you're relying on System 1, you can pause and question whether a more deliberate approach might be better. Engage System 2 for important decisions. When faced with significant decisions, like choosing a career path, making a large purchase, or resolving a conflict, engage System 2. Take the time to gather information, weigh the pros and cons, and consider long-term consequences. For instance, if you're deciding whether to invest in a new business venture, don't just go with your gut feeling. Analyze the market, review financial projections, and seek advice from experts. Be mindful of cognitive biases. Kahneman highlights several cognitive biases that can distort our thinking. For example, the confirmation bias leads us to favor information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs, while the availability heuristic makes us overestimate the likelihood of events that are easily recalled. By being mindful of these biases, you can strive for more balanced and objective decision-making. For instance, if you're evaluating a job candidate, make sure to consider all aspects of their application, not just the parts that align with your initial impression. Practice cognitive ease. Cognitive ease refers to how comfortable and effortless a task feels. When something feels easy, we're more likely to trust it. However, this can lead to overconfidence in our judgments. To counteract this, challenge yourself with tasks that require deeper thinking and analysis. For example, instead of skimming through news headlines, read full articles and seek out diverse perspectives to get a more comprehensive understanding of current events. Use real-life examples. Applying these lessons becomes easier with practice. Let's say you're planning a vacation. Your System 1 might quickly choose a popular destination based on a friend's recommendation. But by engaging System 2, you can research different locations, compare costs, and consider what activities you enjoy most. This thorough approach ensures you make a well-informed decision that aligns with your preferences and budget. By understanding and applying the concepts from Thinking, Fast and Slow, you can enhance your decision-making skills, avoid common pitfalls, and lead a more thoughtful and deliberate life. How do you think you might start applying these lessons in your own daily decisions? 5 Steps to shape your decision-making. Step number 1, recognize cognitive biases. The first crucial step in applying the lessons from Thinking, Fast and Slow is to recognize cognitive biases. These biases can significantly impact our decision-making processes, often leading us astray. By becoming aware of common biases such as anchoring, confirmation bias, and hindsight bias, you can better assess your thought processes and avoid falling victim to their influence. Once you have identified these biases, you can actively work to counteract them by slowing down your thinking process and challenging your initial assumptions. This can involve seeking out alternative perspectives, gathering more information before making a decision, and being mindful of the potential impact of emotions on your reasoning. Additionally, it is important to implement strategies such as using checklists, seeking feedback from others, and engaging in deliberate practice to improve your decision-making skills over time. By consistently applying the principles outlined in Thinking, Fast and Slow, you can develop a more rational and effective approach to problem solving and decision making. Example: as you plan the product launch, be aware of cognitive biases that might affect your decisions. For instance, you might fall prey to the confirmation bias, where you favor information that supports your pre-existing beliefs about the product's success. To counter this, actively seek out dissenting opinions from your team. For example, if you believe the product will be a hit because of its innovative features, ask team members to point out potential flaws or market challenges. This helps you get a more balanced view and avoid overconfidence. Step number 2, implement strategies to combat biases. Once you have identified common cognitive biases, the next step is to implement strategies to combat them effectively. One approach is to cultivate a habit of actively seeking out diverse perspectives, challenging your assumptions, and examining evidence objectively. Additionally, practicing mindfulness and self-reflection can help you become more aware of your thought patterns and biases in real time. By incorporating these strategies into your decision-making process, you can increase your cognitive resilience and make more rational and informed choices. You need to create decision-making processes that involve input from multiple stakeholders and incorporate diverse viewpoints. By gathering input from a variety of sources, you can reduce the influence of individual biases and make more well-rounded decisions. It's also helpful to carefully consider the framing and presentation of information. Oftentimes, the way information is presented can affect our perceptions and decision-making. By being aware of this, you can make an effort to seek out balanced and unbiased information sources. Furthermore, practicing emotional regulation and maintaining a calm and rational mindset can help you make decisions based on logic rather than emotion. By taking a step back and considering the facts objectively, you can avoid making impulsive or biased decisions. Example: once you've identified potential biases, implement strategies to mitigate them. For example, to combat the anchoring effect, where initial information unduly influences your decisions, set up a structured decision-making process. If you're setting a price for the new product, don't just rely on the first number that comes to mind. Instead, conduct thorough market research, compare competitor prices, and consider cost analysis. This methodical approach helps ensure your pricing strategy is well-founded and not swayed by arbitrary anchors. Overall, combating cognitive biases is a continuous process that requires self-awareness, critical thinking, and a willingness to challenge your own beliefs and assumptions. By implementing these strategies, you can improve your decision-making skills and make more rational choices in both personal and professional situations. Step number 3. Utilize System 1 and System 2 thinking. In Thinking, Fast and Slow, Daniel Kahneman introduces the concepts of System 1 and System 2 thinking. System 1 thinking operates automatically and quickly, based on intuition and emotions, while System 2 thinking is more deliberate and analytical. To apply the lessons from the book effectively, it is crucial to understand when to rely on each system. By recognizing when your decisions are being driven by System 1 biases and consciously engaging System 2 to evaluate information critically, you can improve the quality of your judgments and enhance decision-making. For example, when faced with a complex problem or important decision, it may be helpful to slow down and actively engage System 2 thinking to consider all relevant factors and potential outcomes. This can help you avoid common cognitive biases and errors that can arise from relying solely on intuitive, quick judgments. On the other hand, there may be situations where it is appropriate to trust your gut instincts and rely on System 1 thinking. For instance, in scenarios where time is limited or the stakes are low, your intuitive responses may be sufficient and efficient. Another example: recognize when to use fast, intuitive System 1 thinking and when to engage slow, deliberate System 2 thinking. During brainstorming sessions, let System 1 guide you to generate creative ideas quickly. However, when finalizing the product features, switch to System 2 to carefully evaluate each idea's feasibility and impact. For instance, if a team member suggests a new feature, use System 2 to analyze its technical requirements, potential market demand, and alignment with the overall product vision. Overall, the key takeaway from thinking fast and slow is to be mindful of when each system is at play and to intentionally utilize both modes of thinking as needed. By striking a balance between automatic, intuitive responses, System 1, and deliberate, analytical reasoning, System 2, you can make more informed decisions and navigate the complexities of everyday life more effectively. Step number 4, apply prospect theory in decision-making. Prospect theory, as outlined in Daniel Kahneman's Thinking, Fast and Slow, explains how individuals make choices involving uncertainty. By understanding the principles of loss aversion and framing, you can optimize your decision-making process. When faced with choices, consider the potential gains and losses from different options and how they are presented. Recognizing the impact of framing on your decisions can help you navigate biases and make more informed choices. Loss aversion, one of the key concepts in prospect theory, highlights that individuals tend to weigh potential losses more heavily than equivalent gains. This can lead to a reluctance to take risks or make changes that could result in losses. To overcome this bias, it is important to carefully consider the potential benefits of different options and not just focus on avoiding losses. Framing, on the other hand, refers to how choices are presented or framed to individuals. The way a decision is phrased or presented can greatly influence our perception of the options and impact our decisions. For example, presenting information in a positive light may lead to more risk-taking behavior, while framing it in a negative light may lead to more cautious decision-making. Example, prospect theory, another concept from Kahneman, explains how people perceive gains and losses. When making decisions about the product launch, consider how your team and customers perceive risks and rewards. For example, if you're deciding between a high-risk, high-reward marketing strategy and a safer, more conservative approach, weigh the potential outcomes in terms of perceived gains and losses. Understand that people often fear losses more than they value equivalent gains, so frame your decisions in a way that highlights potential benefits while minimizing perceived risks. By being aware of these biases and understanding how they can affect our decision-making process, we can make more rational choices. It is important to take the time to consider the potential gains and losses of different options, and to critically evaluate how choices are framed before making a decision. This can help us make more informed choices that align with our goals and values. Step number 5, incorporate behavioral economics in business practices. Behavioral economics, a key concept discussed in Daniel Kahneman's Thinking, Fast and Slow, offers valuable insights for businesses. By recognizing common biases and heuristics that influence decision-making, companies can improve their strategies and enhance customer experiences. Implementing behavioral economics principles such as default options, nudges, and choice architecture can lead to more effective marketing campaigns and product designs. For example, by understanding the power of the default option, businesses can influence customer choices by strategically setting default settings in their products or services. Nudges, or subtle cues that guide behavior, can also be used to encourage certain actions or purchases. Additionally, designing choice architectures that make decision-making easier for customers can lead to increased sales and customer satisfaction. Another example, to apply principles of behavioral economics to enhance your business practices. For instance, use nudging to influence customer behavior subtly. If you want customers to sign up for a subscription service, make the default option a monthly plan with an easy opt-out feature. This leverages the default effect, where people are more likely to stick with preset options. Additionally, use social proof by showcasing testimonials and reviews to build trust and encourage new customers to try your product. By taking into account the psychological factors that drive consumer behavior, businesses can create more tailored and effective strategies to attract and retain customers. Ultimately, incorporating behavioral economics principles into business practices can lead to better decision-making, increased sales, and improved customer relationships. The book Mindset by Carol S. Dweck discusses more in details this concept. Applying lessons from thinking, fast and slow to improve decision-making. What's next? By embracing the lessons from thinking, fast and slow, and integrating the principles of behavioral economics into business practices, organizations can revolutionize their decision-making processes. Understanding cognitive biases and applying strategies like default options and choice architecture can empower companies to make more informed choices, connect with customers on a deeper level, and ultimately drive success. Remember, the key lies in recognizing and addressing the underlying factors that shape our thinking patterns. Stay committed to implementing these insights consistently to unlock new opportunities and foster growth in your business endeavors. Incorporating the insights from thinking, fast and slow, and incorporating the principles of behavioral economics into business strategies can lead to a transformative shift in decision-making processes for organizations. By acknowledging cognitive biases and utilizing tactics such as default options and choice architecture, companies can enhance decision-making, connect with customers on a more meaningful level, and drive overall success. It is crucial to understand and address the influences that impact our thought processes. By consistently applying these learnings, businesses can unlock fresh possibilities and encourage growth in their endeavors. Thank you for listening. I hope this content is useful to you. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support our team.